Alright, hello and welcome back to Ashgabat Cats. Let's play that. Today we're taking a look at Fancy World. Now before we get started, let's take a look at this intro screen. Like, Fancy World, Earth of Crisis. If I was going to make a video game, I'm not going to say I would choose exactly that name, but I would try to choose a name that was at least half as ridiculous as that. That being said, is that everything as far as intros go? Oh, now we're just spoiling gameplay. So this one, I booted this up for sound test, and, well, okay, on one hand, yes, it is very loud. I cannot move away from that. Let's see, A button is jump, B button is tossing bombs, which, do they actually kill? Looks like they do, hey. But it's like, I saw this intro screen and it's like, oh man, I need to know what this game is. And I kind of wanted to watch the entire intro screen. It was a little sad that it's pretty much just that one cutscene. But I mean, again, they pack a lot of crazy into that cutscene. Let's see, lives 1. That's fine, that's fine. Man, these graphics though. This feels like one of those Chinese clone console games. Like, you know, they just kind of add in a game based on other popular games just to fill in the slots. So I guess we're going for kind of a bubble bobble, what was it, Funky Jet sort of thing? I guess even Dark Tower might be a point of comparison. Although, at least with that game, you could only attack up close, whereas this game, Opang, that was the other game I was thinking of. At least this game, they totally allow you to attack from a distance. I also see this as, ooh, big coin, big money, right? That's right. Dimes are worth the least and quarters are worth the most because they're the biggest, right? Oh wait, that's actually right. It is kind of funny how money more or less follows that pattern where bigger means more, with the slight exception of, what's it now? I don't know, the penny and the dime, and that's it. Oh wow! So you can confuse yourself. The negative power-ups, negative power-ups. What is happening here? That reminds me of negative extra credit. Well, I never got negative extra credit, but that was only because when the teacher starts threatening you with negative extra credit, you start listening. Not necessarily because you care about your grade, but mostly because if your teacher is so mad that they're willing to invent something completely imaginary as negative. So I thought that intro sequence, like, I was getting gypped as far as, like, crazy stuff being shown to me, but let's just say I'm satisfied. I saw crazy today. I lived a crazy today. Well, I was going to talk more about it, negative extra credit, but that doesn't exist. Anyway, back to the game. Yeah, it looks like our enemies look different. They don't play any different, but I mean, hey, they look different. And at the very least, they're changing the background, although we're in the age not of early 80s shoot-em-ups where, like, changing the background was a novelty. Here, we're in the, I don't know, mid-90s age of kicks, where it's like, dude, you better change the background, or I'm gonna put my credits into a different game. It doesn't matter if your game is better or worse. I don't care, man. I want to see some flashy, nice arcade graphics, and I will say, these are pretty nice and pretty flashy. I couldn't ask for more. Well, you know me, I will of course ask for more, but at least I'll be very polite about it, and with the implication that oh my gosh. Well, I said I was going to ask for more, but I don't know that there's more you could ask for than a screen-clearing laser beam. This game is very interesting because balance, semicolon, no. It just does whatever it feels like. Pick up a bread, get a laser beam, sure, all in a day's work. That is surprisingly generous, but it is kind of funny how this game, like, it doesn't really seem to care if I win or lose. Like, the levels aren't even really getting harder. They're not necessarily getting easier. They're just, it just kind of exists in some weird kind of stasis where, like, basically The game is like, okay, so long as you're putting in credits into me, I'm happy. You can do whatever you want. You wanna... Well, I guess you can't jump to the top level from anywhere than anywhere other than one of those little ledges. Oh, you can't even jump down. Wow. Game, what are you doing? You're killing me. You're not even gonna let me jump down from the top? Nice. Oh. So I swear this happened, or maybe I'm hallucinating, which is like my character, but I pressed down and jump, and then my character jumped up, and it's like, on one hand, yeah, okay, dizzy. That's cute. On the other hand, I feel like essentially every other game, whenever your character gets dizzy, they don't mess with your jumps. Now, okay, left and right, reversed, that's like a matter of course at this point. But, oh, it's the ghost death of slowness. Kill you. I word swear, I'm many good. Not now, though. And we have a boss. Ooh. This reminds me of that platypus game that I may or may not have played. Well, I played it back in the early ages of 2021. I guess it was midway through 2021. I didn't post any of these videos. If you haven't seen them, you're not crazy. But it was like Platypus Adventures. Wait. So there was that game that was kind of like this platforming game where you could like fight the bosses, but then there was a different game that had bosses, or maybe that was the same game. Kids, if you ever watch Ashgabat Cat and you're like, man, that guy is the coolest man alive, I would like to live my life in such a way as to emulate him. Haha, get it? I made a joke because he emulates. But anyway, I swear, kids, don't do what I do. And I don't just mean in a, like, gameplay sense. I mean in a, if you play a bunch of random arcade games, one after another, supplement them with random, like, console game. Oh, yeah. Supplement them with random console games. And then top it off with some random other games just to, like, I don't know, mix it up. My gosh, man. All of those games will mix together, and after a while, you will not know anything about any game ever. You'll be able to say a lot of things about some games approximately. I guess you'll be able to know and memorize like a few games as sort of a touchstone. Like Pac-Man, everybody knows Pac-Man. Space Invaders, pfft, nobody likes Space Invaders. It's all about Galaga and or Xevious. I joke, but I have been surprised. Basically every 80s shoot-'em-up I've played has either stolen from either Galaga or Xevious, and the most annoying of which are the ones that steal from both. I guess the closest thing to an 80s shoot-'em-up that doesn't borrow from either, it would be something silly like, I don't know. I was gonna say Lunar Lander, but I mean Moon Patrol. That's right, kids, occupational hazard. You'll have to know the difference between Lunar Lander, Moon Patrol, and Scramble. Scramble doesn't even have moon in the title, but it basically takes place on the moon. Also, there's, what is it, asteroids? No, Missile Command, where, I guess that's not really on the moon, huh? You're just kind of hanging out on Earth. But it kind of looks like the moon, and if you look at some of the promotional art, I mean, it might as well be the moon. Anyway, this is I am a cautionary tale. Do as I... Don't do me. Don't do anything. Ashgabat Cat. Just watch from a safe distance. This is hazardous for your health. Some of the games, though, some of them are pretty good. This game, I will put this at a very respectable average out of rating. Because, like, this game, I mean, on one hand, it's very playable. It's very beautiful. And, like, I dare say it almost rounds up to fun. But the problem is, like, it's almost too easy. It's like you play through this game and you have to ask yourself why. It's kind of like you play through a game of Kicks where it's like you just credit feed and it's like, at least there, you have a fairly, well, here I am shooting off my mouth saying, oh, this game is too easy. This game is a baby game. And it's like, here we are. And the game almost got me. Some might say it did get me. But anyway... You play through this game, well, okay, at least with Kicks. I mean, you play through Kicks, and it's like, it rewards you with a picture. This one, I mean, yeah, you get, like, the pictures in the background, but it's like, man, admittedly, that is a pretty sweet rendition of the Sydney Opera House, but I could have lived my entire life and not had that picture of Sydney Opera House. I don't know why, every time an enemy uses a ranged attack against me, I'm like, man, that's cheap. You can't use ranged attacks. As I toss my ranged attacks at them. I guess at this point, it's just kind of fair play. Oh, don't take my coin away from me. Don't take my coin away from me. I don't know much about this game, but I know the coins are good. Give me the... Oh. You live for one thing in life. Stealing giant coins. Giant, like, oversized ceremonial coins. And it takes it away from me. Oh, okay. I was wondering why those bonus letters were flashing, but not quite enough to mention it. But now I can see that, yes, I'm working my way up to a bonus. I picked up a refrigerator and I got 10 points. Yeah, sounds about right. I'm just imagining, can my character not duck? That was very clearly a situation where I would have liked to have ducked. Okay, so you can duck. You can't duck and throw bubbles, but I mean, there have to be limits somehow. But, well, anyway. That should be a ceremonial. Oh. These buttons. Give us and they take it away. But that should be a t-shirt. I played this dumb game, and all I got were 10 points for a refrigerator. I think I'm mixing too many references on t-shirts into one t-shirt. T-shirts should be nice and subtle. I feel like this game, you just take whatever pick of your favorite artwork and just slap it on there, because I mean, that's gonna do it for you. That's gonna do it for you. Well, okay, I mean, so they're kind of mixing things up where, like, you may not have to be paying attention to be good at the game, but you have to be paying attention to at least continue playing the game, where, just in case you're not aware, your character can only jump a certain height, so what they're doing is on that top level, they're making it so you do have to actually jump off of a ledge if you want to get to the highest level. You know... Oh, the buttons, they actually do something. So I pressed the third button, and apparently I have a bomb. I was just sitting on that bomb the entire time, just in case this game wasn't easy enough. Hey, trivializing it? That's my middle name. Ashgabat Trivializing It Cat. You can quote me on that. But, okay. I mean, that's kind of a poor level of difficulty, though. I mean, it's like making it so it's the... You know, it was said at one point in time there are 3 types of Magic the Gathering players. There are people who like to see big numbers, and then there are 2 other insignificant player archetypes. And let me tell you, man, I like those big numbers. And so seeing that giant laser beam, that's basically a number. And it's like, oh man. These are the same people who make Charizard decks in Pokemon. I mean, Charizard is not necessarily the greatest of cards. It uses a lot of energy, although it does have the enviable property of, like, being able to convert any energy you attach to it to fire energy. But, you know what Charizard can do? 120 damage in an attack. One single attack. I mean, yeah, you have to discard 2 energy, but it's, like, a small price to pay for awesomeness. And it's like, okay, yeah, maybe you young whippersnappers that are all too familiar with Pokemon cards, which are strangely back in vogue, it seems. Don't quote me on that. But maybe investigate me on that. But anyway, and it's like, yeah, sure, it seems like every Pokemon EX can do 120 damage with its eyes closed. But this was base set, baby. This was like back when its main competition was like, I don't know, Pikachu that does 10 damage some of the time, 10 damage to itself usually. Yeah, it's not exactly a high bar to clear. I think it was that Platypus game though, where it kind of naming. Oh, I did not realize you could do well enough to enter your name. Let's see. So second button has to enter it. That is a very strange spacing between the letters here. Cow. Well, that's right, guys. I'm actually the legendary reincarnation of Cao Cao, who decided that, you know what, taking over China, that's no longer my bag. Playing random arcade games, that's what it's all about. Come on, let me at him. But anyway, the platypus game, and then you can play the bosses, and like, the bosses were actually a little tricky, and because this was a console game and not like a silly old arcade game, you couldn't just indiscriminately continue by praying to the gods of capitalism. No, you had to earn your continue with skill. Wait, what? So he just flashed, ostensibly because I damaged him. But follow-up question, have I been damaging him all the previous attacks? Do I have to hit him, like, specifically in his charge head? Or, like, are we just good to hit him anywhere? I think you have to hit him in his head. But that's pretty difficult because I don't know if you've noticed, but there's more chicken here than there is in your typical McDonald's. Like, come on, man. We make chicken nuggets for a reason. Gotta keep the chicken population down, but these guys... Unrestricted chickenalism. Okay. Oh, come on. Come on. Alright, so it looks like you gotta be at least 2 above him. But now he's all the way up here. Like, there's no beating him. The home field advantage. Okay. There's... Maybe I can jump down fast enough? This is like the weirdest situation. Like, I mean, I know this is unfair, but like, is this unwinnable? Like, usually... okay. I guess you can win. But it's like, usually in these games, it's like, it's so unfair that it's like, it just kind of pisses you off a little bit, and you're like, it just registers something in you, and you're like, this is clearly unfair. I am not good with this. But that boss level was just so confusing that it's like, I can't even process this. Should I be mad? Should I be happy? I can't choose, so I'm just gonna feel the mean of all emotions. And I don't know what that feeling is. But let me tell you, it's pretty confusing. Oh, nice. These... Well, I mean, I guess if I was paying attention, I would have realized that these places do... We're on stage 5? Wow. Time flies. Time flies when you've got infinite credits. Infinite credits? No social obligations? Yeah. That's how you live life. But anyway... I guess I should have been paying attention that each one of these places corresponds to, like, a real-world place. And I guess the places in the background correspond to, you know, real-world landscapes. Or, not landscapes, landmarks. But, like, I just... I don't know. Somehow I'm surprised about this. It looks like there are some new enemies, but I don't know. Do you think it matters? It doesn't matter to me. You take them down just the same. They kind of even look the same. Now, what do you do with ease? Well, I do everything with ease. But, because I believe we are spelling bonus on the bottom there, but I don't know what we're intended to do with an E. Last I checked, there was no E in bonus. And it even has bonus on the bottom of the screen, so I don't even have to, like, go off memory. Although, if you think there's an E in bonus, then you are sadly mistaken. Come on, man. Oh, diamonds. Okay. What? You see that? They're just double shotting. I mean, come on, man. There should be a limit to how fast you can shoot in a certain period of time. Just shoot indiscriminately at whatever speed you want. That's not nice. Oh, speaking of time limits. Oh, okay. On the good side, you can press... Oh boy, why did I choose letters so far apart? Why couldn't I have been a sheep? But on the one side, you can press the first button to erase names on the name entry screen. On the downside, the time is limited, so double Bitcoin. So you better get cracking there. Alright, I can start to feel the resistance of the game, just kind of like picking up. I'm starting to wonder, will this world be the last? Probably not. Will the next world be the last? Almost certainly. Oh, come on. Come on, he was jumping. He was fair game. What look at the background. Look at that monkey. Like, they are just throwing away like great sprite work with like reckless abandon. I don't know, maybe they stole it from everywhere, although I don't think so. Maybe this is a Korean game. But either way, there is just a lot of good sprite work just going on all over the place. Like the donkey head. Yes, it's Donkey Kong. That monkey head, like, I don't even think they use it anywhere else in the game. So it's like, in a certain sense, it would kind of be a waste to program that in, and yet here we are. Come on, come on. You can cheat me, I'm gonna cheat you. Okay, I guess you just have to get down there and just hope for the best. World clear. Okay, so maybe I wasn't... maybe there are only bosses every other round. What the heck? Oh, man. Oh, I guess the dogs were there from, like, what, stage 1? But it is strange that, like, we've not seen them for a while. But I guess they're back, and with a vengeance. Okay, wow. There is a lot going on here. I'm going to have to just break this down bit by bit. So we got the fishmen. That's normal. Yes, fishmen. That's normal. Don't worry. But then you also have the trenchcoat dudes, which I think they're going more for gangster than exhibitionist. But, I mean, you never know, man. It's mystery what's under the trench coat. Oh, no, he's wearing pants. And then you had the Invisible Man. Like, what the heck? It's the Invisible Man. What's he doing there? Nobody knows. And it's like, geez, there is a lot of stuff here. Yeah, this game perfected it. Like, the ability to make you want to see what comes next. Also, having good sprite work, that's not something you can ignore. But, like, just wanting to see what comes next. It's just so fundamental to a game. Look at this, like, little cat guy. I mean, yeah, he's clearly based off of the cat from Dragon Ball Z, but still. Like, they are just tossing out artwork like it's free. Of course, this is, like, the mid to late 90s in arcade games, so I guess, in a certain sense, it is free, but, I mean, still. This is intense. As far as skill, well, okay, I remember, like, what, 10 minutes ago, I was being annoyed that this game seemingly did not require enough of skill off of me. Well, the skill cap has increased. That being said, just because the game requires skill doesn't mean I can't complain. I'm going to counter back with one of them. It's unfair. What the game is asking me to do is unfair, and so it's not the right kind of difficulty. That's right. The trick to life is to always have enough excuses prepared that no matter what, you can't be held at fault. What's the answer? That's like, what's the question that's an answer to? I don't know, but that's the secret of life. And so, yeah, it's just not the right kind of difficulty. What would I say if it was that and the right kind of difficulty? Ooh, that's a puzzler. Because a game at that point would be a good game, but at the same time, good games can be hard games. And it's like, well, you're gonna have to come up with some sort of skill. Well, I think at that point, you pretty much have to start hitting the, I'm not playing in my best sort of angle, where it's like, I don't know, guys, I'm feeling a little sick today. Or it's like, well, maybe it's, blame your controller. That is a stalwart. Oh, come on. I'm doing pretty well here. I would like to not jeopardize this. Hey, game, you want to meet me halfway and get rid of this status? Oh, well, close enough. Yeah, let's see. So you go controller. I don't know. What if they complain about your controller? Well, that's the beauty about controllers, and specifically USB controllers. Nobody knows how they work. So it's like any sort of complaint could, in theory, be valid. Okay, I feel like there's a lesson here. It is consistently the bottles of alcohol that are just confusing me, and it's like, well, maybe I shouldn't get them. But it's like telling a drunk, it's like, oh, well, you want to cure your alcoholism? Just don't drink. It's as easy as that. And it's like, no, it's not as easy as that. It's a coping mechanism. You're obviously coping for something. If you don't get rid of the thing you're coping for, then you're not going to do anything with it. Not to say that I'm addicted to arcade games. Who said that? But, I mean, just hypothetically speaking. Did the music change halfway? But, like, why did the music change? It's the same level. They didn't have to. I feel like that just summarizes so much of this game's quality. It's like, you didn't have to. And here we are. Rand, oh yeah, who's feeling Randy? I don't know yet. But there's got to be a why somewhere. Why? Why not? Oh, man. Are we, like, almost to the boss? You think the boss will be tough? Well, I mean, come on. We all know the boss is going to be tough. Speaking of games that 50-50 I might have played, may have hallucinated, there's some game, it was like Balloon World or something? Balloon Master? I think... This is going to sound completely crazy, but I think I played it after I played the Jackie Chan game. That's right, did you know that there was a Jackie Chan arcade game? I did. Because I played it. Probably. On one hand, this guy... is like, he does seem noticeably less cheap than, oh, he shoots the trench coat guys too, just because this was not clear enough. Oh my god. I thought the last guy was bad, but at least there seemed to be a more or less constant number of chickens on screen, but here it's like this guy shoots mice, like, well, it does seem like he has mercy, which is a lot more than I'll say for the chicken guy. It is kind of unfortunate, because here I am wasting time on killing the mice, and it's like, that is not going to get you anywhere. Although we'll give this game credit. I mean, yeah, sure, even though I'm credit feeding it like some sort of mongoloid, I am, like, I do recognize that there's a score system, and it seems like you can get a high score at essentially any point in time, and you get a high score for reasonably good play. So... it's like, if you want to take the game seriously at any point in time, you can just try and go for score. And if you don't want to, you just want to credit feed to see what the next stage has in store, hey, be my guest. Don't bring any mice, or don't bring any cheese, because otherwise you can get flooded by mice, but yeah, whatever. This mouse rocket cannon, I love how, like, that kind of makes sense, but it makes, like, that sort of deranged dream-like sense, where it's like, yeah, sure, a giant cannon that shoots mice, that makes sense when you see it in action, but if somebody was, like, telling you about their dream, you'd be like, what the heck? So is that guy, like, pulling his eye down? Is he supposed to be, like, taunting you for looking at those pictures of the girls? Like, I don't understand. Also, we were at, like, World Set... I swore off alcohol. I told myself, no more, man. No more booze. Gotta lay off the booze. And here I am, back at it again. Well, at least it didn't amount to much, one way or the other. But it's already level World 7. Man, we are just blasting through this game in record time. Next thing you know, it'll be like World F for finale. Whoa. Oh, I defeated that guy. I don't think I'll be able to take the spoils of... labor. Okay, come on now. Wow, I just noticed, but this game gives you a fair bit of control while you're in the air. Of course, I've mostly been focusing on, like, walking left and right, but it's good to know that if it comes down to it, you can take to the air and be successful. Also, yeah, I may have learned something from Dark World, where basically patience is a virtue, and if you're willing to be patient with these sorts of games, then you can get some pretty high scores. That being said, the downside to patience is it takes a lot of time, and I don't know, I'm not to say I'm a speedrunner, but as somebody with a natural inbuilt amount of impatience, sometimes you just end up speedrunning. Like, it's just an occupational hazard, more like personality type hazard. I wonder if there are certain types of people that it's like, they just can't help being speedrunners just because, like, that's how they view the world. That's how they view the game. Like, they just don't have the patience to play through the game the normal way. They're like, no, I need to be as fast as possible. I need to, like, people always say that I don't really appreciate games, and I'm doing it the wrong way just because I'm playing through them fast, but it's like, I don't know how they can handle it. They're just wasting their lives playing games, but me, I'm also wasting my life playing games, but I'm doing so more efficiently. It's like a dishwasher, right? Like, you live without a dishwasher, you're like, man, it'd be so great to have a dishwasher. If I had a dishwasher, I would save so much time. And it's like, you get a dishwasher, and yeah, you do save a lot of time, which frees you up to do other chores. And it's like, huh, why did I sign up for this Sisyphean trial? And nobody ever asked you. You just popped out of the canal, and here you are. No take-backsies. At least, I don't know, most people outlaw suicide. I guess you could have a take-backsie, but still, that just seems a little rude almost. I don't know to whom. Yourself? Your parents? Some sort of deity? Who knows? Either way, you're in it to win it, so... It's a little ominous to be talking about this and then be talking about speedrunning in, like, the same breath above. It's like, yeah, some people, they're just so hasty. They just gotta get to the end real quick. Just gotta see. Even if it's a bad end, doesn't matter, still counts. So, well, anyway, I feel like if you've made it this far into any of my videos, you are completely immune to anything I might ever have said about any sort of subject, really. You probably just tuned me out by now. I mean, I don't know how you could, like, listen to me seriously. I can't even listen to me seriously. I just kind of open my mouth, think of the words to say. Sometimes I think of a joke, then I butcher it, and then I just kind of continue on, because I don't know why. It's just, there's more arcade games out there, and even if I played them all, it's like, well, but what are they like the second time? Okay, I mean, the screen was, like, kind of fun the first time. Whoa, whoa, whoa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I don't know about you, but this looks like the final world. Oh, I even got a name entry. Man, this... I'm gonna lie and say this is the best game ever. I don't know, just this game, it just goes down real smooth. This is like the water of video games. Like, it's not... wow, I can even, like, just cheap the enemies from behind a wall. Now, of course, they're gonna take away my vaunted hiding spot sooner or later, but I might as well enjoy it while I can. I feel a little cheaped by that maneuver. But it's like, dang, this game. Of course, also, like water, it doesn't really... It's kind of satisfying, but it's not satisfying like a nice fizzy drink. So, it's good, but it's like... Sometimes you want a little more. But that being said, I feel like we should all drink a little bit more water in our lives. I'm actually getting thirsty right now just saying this. Huh. This game is a good influence on you. It makes you want to drink water. Why? Well, if you just follow my chain of reasoning, which is like 2 or 3 links deep, then it's like, oh yes, of course, clearly this game makes you thirsty. I could never see it any other way again. Oh man, and I tried to use skill and/or strategy, but as it turns out, brute force would have sufficed. Invincibility. Brute force for idiots. Or no, brute force for weaklings. I guess if I was to come up with a complaint, which I don't know why I would at this point, like, this game is a little iffy on, like, when you're going off of a corner or an edge. Like, did you jump or did you just walk off the edge? The game seems a little particular about that, but otherwise, I mean, no, it's overall an amazing game. I can't believe this game exists. Look, the enemies are even, like, catching up on my, like, invulnerable wall maneuver. Well, not all of them. Oh my gosh, is that the stinky flower? Come on, come on, give me that stinker, give me that stinker. Oh. Well, at least I can set a high score, if nothing else. How am I gonna set a high score if I can't get any sweets? This game is impossible. So that's the high score, is 500k, but there must be, like, points for getting the score, getting, like, lower scores, but still, suspicion scores. Come on, I just got a lightning bolt. Oh. Big shot. What's the difference? It's a little bigger. A lot bigger? Nah, just a little bit. Oh, they trapped me. They trapped me. So I don't know if you notice. I don't know if you can tell, but pretty much the only way I can go from here is down. Like, I can't go up. This game, they trapped me. Trapped like a rat. I didn't know I could make that noise. I don't know that I like knowing that I can make that noise, but you cannot put that genie back in that bottle, and you can't get refunds for any of those credits. So you know what? Might as well go all in. I don't know why you should go all in. Yeah, I mean, you waste enough credits into Arcade Machine, and you get a story to tell your kids. I don't know why your kids would be asking you about various arcade games you played. It's like, Grandpa, please tell me more about that time you played that one arcade game. And it's like the arcade game with the bubbles and the dinosaurs. It's like, yeah. It's like the ones where they spit out bubbles, or the ones where they shoot the bubbles up based on a very imprecise aiming system. And then your grandkids are just like, surprise me. And then you surprise them as you mix the two together. And then after a while, your kids are like, wait, are you talking about Puzzle Bobble 2 or 3? And after a while, like, the only acceptable answer is yes. Isn't it great? This world, this land, this bounty of video games. An infinite bounty of video games, all at your fingertips. I guess I've never really put my thanks for MAME into words. But here we are. Oh, is it the final boss? Pfft, forget about gratitude. I've got a final boss to defeat. What's that? Am I just gonna credit feed? Oh, you bet I am. As soon as I figure out what to attack. I mean, credit feeding is one thing, but like pointless credit feeding, that's a whole nother deal. Okay, so my current hypothesis is that I need to wait for the dragon's mouth to be open. And I mean, if you're mad at me for like just cheaping this out, I mean, come on, look at what I'm up against. Not only is the screen filled with woodchucks, but this dragon is just tossing fire at me all over the place. Did I already beat a dragon now? It's strange though, because like, given the dragon's repetitive movements, I'm almost semi-convinced that like, there could in fact accidentally be a small amount of skill in this game. Because I guess if you just played it safe and worked your way up and then kind of fought off like the woodchucks here and there and worked your way back up to the dragon, I mean, I guess you could win. Or you just put in a crap ton of quarters. World clear. Did I get a game clear? Or is there like a bonus world? What? That was not there before. What? Is there more? Is it just palette swaps from here on out? Not really, because I think the butterfly girl is new. Oh my gosh, and you thought the bosses so far were terrifying. This game, I just went from feeling accomplished to like feeling completely overwhelmed in the space of like a second. And I know that extra world just popped out of literally nowhere because it just popped up. Like there was nothing there before, and yet here we are. You know what? In protest, I will not even put any more credits into the game. I mean, if miraculously I can like one credit I guess there's no real term for like if you've been credit feeding so far but then you finally get mad so you play on your last credit but you could like still conceivably beat the game and then you accidentally do. I guess they don't really have words for that, huh? I mean, I guess also too, that's not really a thing. Give me that sheet bomb. Oh. And it's over. Do you ever feel that sometimes it was just a waste? That in fact, there was no point to putting all those credits in that arcade game? Me neither. This game was awesome. Wow. So apparently when I kept setting high scores, I just kept overriding my existing high scores. And if you look, then, hold up now. I've got the words in me. If you look, then you can see that Player 2 character just hanging out. And it's like, huh. So that's what would have happened had we lived in an alternate universe where you could have played as Player 1. I'm Player 2. I love how the booze is just straight up called whiskey, and it just makes you confused. It's like, now that is a don't do drugs, kids. Oh, I just get that now. So he took over their, like, TV to hypnotize them. But as we all know, TV hypnotizes. He's just holding a gun against the world. And it's like, wow. 1996, mid-90s. I feel like just holding a gun to the world is like, man, this guy gets to the point. Oh, let's look at what the controls are. Hopefully they are exactly what I thought they were. Oh yeah, special is third button. It's like, what does special do? It's like, his special. No need to inquire further. Unico. I swear I played one of these games before. A game by Unico, not like a game like this. We've all played games like this. But I want to say Unico, there's something weird about them. Maybe they're Korean, maybe they're Chinese, they're probably Japanese. I do remember though. What was it? Zap 1/2 for some nonsense. I think it was like Zack 1/2, and it was like the weirdest Korean brawler arcade game I had ever seen. Topped only by the Korean clone of Pac-Man, where instead of like playing as Pac-Man himself walking through a maze, instead you play as this like giant mouth attached to a really long neck. And so you shoot your neck throughout the maze. It's kind of like you're playing a game of Snake in that like your body follows you. And it's also like a game of Snake in that is if any of the enemies like touch you, then you die. But it's also like Pac-Man in that the objective and maze is like Pac-Man, except there are openings at the outside, of course, because like that's where your body lives. It's one of these things that is like way easier seen than explained. Oh man, there's a wide world out there of crazy arcade games. Oh, so if you get a stamp, you get a 1-up. Every time I get a stamp, that just means I won't get arrested by the federal police just because I tried to mail something without a stamp. Huh. I guess things must work differently in the video game world. Is that a monkey on the right? Is that a monkey or like a monkey vase? Man, I've got to ponder that. So I guess, on that note, this cat's got to get himself a monkey vase.